the frog kick propulsion techniques. Okay guys, the frog kick. Okay, so the frog kick is the kick we're going to be using all the time, really. I think about 90 to 95% of all times we're going to be using the frog kick. Maybe you already do that, but for sure there's a few tips which can make your kick a bit more efficient. So by getting more efficient, that means that you spend less energy. That means that you have more gas in the end, and that you'll be more comfortable. Compared to the flutter kick, there's no comparison. A flutter kick is something that comes kind of natural to us. But first of all, the big problem with the flutter kick is that you steer up the whole bottom. But the most important thing is maybe for us divers is that the flutter kick tires you a lot and it's not a very efficient kick in the sense that you spend a lot of energy and your constant movement. So people get tired more easily, people get cramps more easily than a frog kick. Okay, so how are we going to practice the frog kick? So you'll see later on in the video, you see a dry run. So I think that's a good idea. Just grab a towel, lie down on the floor and practice the frog kick. It's a bit difficult because the fins weigh a little bit and it feels a bit weird, but I know out of experience that kind of works well. Make sure again that the blades are horizontal. A big mistake with lots of people is that the fins are up like that. So whilst practicing this on your towel, you can already feel, what it is to have these blades horizontal. I always tell my students as well that, flex this muscle on your shin. That's the muscle you want to use to get these fins down. I've even used bandages on students to get these feet properly horizontal, these fins. not always, but it has happened. Okay, so let's go through the phases of the frog kick. So phase 1 is, we've got a loading phase, and then we have the power phase. Yeah? So the loading phase is when you're opening your legs, like that, you slice through the water. And the stroke, the power stroke, is you tilt your blades a little bit and you close them all the way. For now. Later on maybe you'll have them open a little bit. And then, this is an important thing, in between these two phases, there's a moment of relaxation. A moment that the energy is taking you and is moving you forwards. So don't lose that moment because you'll be losing energy. Don't go like, no. So slice through the water like wings in an aeroplane. Tilt your blades a little bit and close them. And now you let yourself move through the water. When you feel you're slowing down, slowly you open your legs already. And this is a moment that you're like in complete relaxation. Your legs are like, this is like an aeroplane. Your arms are here and you're like an aeroplane. You're flying through the water. This is possible with a frog kick. With a flutter kick, you'll be constantly doing something. So there's a moment of relaxation. There's a moment of silence, I call it. Yeah? So in a nutshell, phase 1. Slice through the water. Tilt your blades. Phase 2. Close your legs. Let yourself be moved by the water. And slowly open again. Make sure your knees are up. You'll see that on the videos. Make sure your head is up. And make sure not to use too much energy in the power phase. Try to feel the water on your blades. Play a little with your toes. Like the positioning of you'll have to find that. I cannot explain that to you. But the positioning of your toe, of your big toe for example, try to push it a little bit outwards to try to scoop a bit more water. Obviously the choice of fins is really important as well. So I highly recommend rubber fins, but at least a bit stiffer fins. This is important because you want to move some water and you also want to have, it's a feeling I have, I cannot explain it really, is you want to have some weight on your feet. You want to be able to feel what is there. Don't worry too much about if the fins are negative or if they're positive. In the end, for example, jet fins are quite negative. You can dive very good with jet fins in a wetsuit, but maybe they're a bit better for a dry suit. Okay guys, good luck. Let me know. The frog kick. Remember the phases. Close, slowly open. Power stroke. Slowly open. Look at the diver in trim. No resistance to the water. Try to tilt your blades so you scoop more water. Use your toes as well. A pro tip. Look at the movement. I'm throwing my blades. Like a whip. Make sure your knees don't drop. First you need to understand what a frog kick is, how it works, then you need to mentalize it, dry run it. Have a look at this. Put your hands upside down in the blades and feel them cutting through the water. See how it looks, feel how it looks. Later on you're going to try that in the water. Try it on a towel as well, like discussed in dry runs in chapter trim. Time for some water, hit the pool, put your fins on. As soon as you kind of start to get comfortable with it, take them off. Use a weight belt or a back plate. Not easy, but it's really worthwhile. Have a go at this. Key here is control. Take it easy. It's hard to find balance. Remember, power stroke, loading phase. You can also have your equipment floating on the surface. Obviously, this is easier on a 1.5 meter hose or a 2 meter hose. So you've probably been struggling for an hour with no fins on. Now put your fins on. This is gonna be really cool. Spend some real time in the pool. Go through all the details. After a few sessions and you start to get comfortable, now it's time to go for a real dive. Stay shallow though. This was the last part of the foundational course. Here you see me diving and using many of the techniques we've discussed before. It's not a show off really, because this is the way I like to dive. Enjoy.